All right, so get this. We're diving deep today into the world of post-quantum cryptography.
Post-quantum cryptography.
PQC for short.
PQC.
And you know how we trust the internet with like everything these days?
Absolutely.
Banking, medical records, even those embarrassing baby photos we thought we'd buried deep in the digital graveyard.
Oh, yeah, all that good stuff.
Yeah, but here's the thing. All that trust relies on encryption.
Right, and that's where the problem comes in because quantum computers could smash through that encryption like a wrecking ball.
Okay, so back up for a sec. What exactly makes quantum computers so dangerous?
Sure.
It's not like they're just faster laptops, right?
No, not even close. They use the mind-bending rules of quantum mechanics to do calculations in ways normal computers can't even dream of.
Okay.
Think of it like this.
Right.
A regular computer is trying to solve a maze by checking each path one by one. A quantum computer checks all paths simultaneously.
Whoa. Okay, that's powerful. But how does that break our online security?
Well, a lot of our current encryption, things like RSA, rely on problems that are super hard for regular computers to solve.
Right.
But for a quantum computer, they could be a piece of cake, especially as they get more powerful.
So like someone with a quantum computer could suddenly unlock everyone's secrets.
Potentially.
Bank accounts, government files, the whole shebang.
It's a scary thought.
Yikes. That's where PQC comes in, right?
Exactly.
Our source, an article by Andrew Kagan on LinkedIn called Post-Quantum Cryptography PQC,
Right.
says experts are racing to make this new kind of encryption.
Yep. PQC is all about finding ways to protect our data, even when superpowered quantum computers are on the loose.
Okay.
Imagine changing the locks on your house to something even the most skilled lockpick can't crack.
This is starting to feel like a spy movie, but with math instead of explosions.
A little bit, yeah.
So how does PQC actually work?
There are a few different approaches, and they all rely on math problems that are devilishly hard for any computer to solve, quantum or not.
Okay, let's jargon. More examples.
Okay, fair enough.
What kind of problems are we talking about?
One popular approach is lattice-based cryptography.
Okay.
Imagine a multi-dimensional grid of points, like a massive, intricate jungle gym. Hiding information within that lattice is so complex, even quantum computers would struggle to find it.
Okay, I'm vaguely picturing a super complex connect-the-dots puzzle.
Yeah, kind of.
And the article mentions this group, NIST, as a key player in all of this.
Right.
What's their role?
NIST, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, is like the referee for PQC.
Okay.
They're running a competition to find the best, most secure algorithms.
Oh, wow.
They've already picked a few winners in 2022, like Crystal's Kyber and Crystal's Dilithium, and plan to announce more in 2024.
So it's like the Olympics of encryption.
You could say that.
What makes these winning algorithms so special?
Think speed and security.
Okay.
NIST wants algorithms that are not only quantum resistant, but also efficient. You wouldn't want your online banking to take an hour just because of super strong encryption, right?
Right.
Plus, they need to work seamlessly with existing systems.
Makes sense. So are we just sitting around waiting for NIST to save the day?
Not quite. Tech giants are already getting in on the action.
Really?
Companies like Google, Microsoft, and Amazon are starting to integrate PQC into their systems.
Oh.
It's like they're reinforcing their digital fortresses before the quantum siege begins.
So this isn't just some theoretical future problem. The transition is already starting.
It's happening as we speak.
Yeah, it's both reassuring and kind of terrifying at the same time.
I know, right?
What does this transition to PQC actually look like?
Right.
Do we just flip a switch one day and everything's quantum-proof?
It's more like a gradual upgrade.
Okay.
Right now, a popular approach is the hybrid method.
Okay.
That means using our current encryption alongside PQC,
Gotcha.
like double locking your doors.
Smart. That way we get the best of both worlds, protection against current threats and future quantum attacks. But if it's this big a deal, there must be some challenges, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Nothing's ever that easy.
PQC isn't a silver bullet.
Right.
One issue is key size.
Okay.
Some PQC algorithms need much larger keys, which can slow things down. Plus, we have to make sure these new systems can talk to the older ones.
Yeah.
Imagine if your new phone couldn't connect to the internet.
Yeah, that would be a disaster.
Total disaster.
So we've got these super complex algorithms, a race against time, tech giants getting involved. It's all starting to feel like a very high-stakes puzzle.
It definitely is.
Before we dive deeper, let's break down a couple of those winning algorithms to make things a bit more concrete.
Okay, sounds good.
Let's take Crystal's Kyber,
Crystal's Kyber.
which NIST picked for general encryption.
What?
It's known for being pretty speedy and having manageable key sizes, which is good for everyday use.
Yeah, that's a big plus.
And I remember the article mentioned Falcon, right?
Yep.
That's another one NIST liked, but for a different purpose.
Exactly. Falcon is all about digital signatures, which are like electronic fingerprints used to verify things.
Oh, okay.
It's super secure and perfect for things like online banking, where you need to know you're really talking to your bank and not some sneaky hacker.
Okay, so we've got the quantum threat, the PQC cavalry riding in with their fancy algorithms, and the whole world scrambling to get ready.
It's a wild ride.
It is.
And the million-dollar question is...
What's that?
Will we be ready in time?
Oh.
The development of quantum computers is accelerating. Will PQC keep pace?
That's a cliffhanger if I ever heard one. Stay tuned for part 2 of our deep dive, where we'll explore how this all impacts you, the listener, and what you can do to prepare for the post-quantum world.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of post-quantum cryptography.
Last time we talked about how quantum computers could shake up the cybersecurity world.
Right.
And how PQC is our best bet to fight back.
Yeah, it's kind of our secret weapon.
But it all sounds a bit abstract, right?
I can see that.
Like some distant sci-fi threat.
Yeah.
How does this impact our lives, like right now?
Well, it's easy to think of quantum computers as these futuristic machines.
Right.
But their impact is closer than you might think.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about how PQC could affect your everyday life,
Okay.
starting with the internet.
Okay, so the internet, we all use it constantly.
Constantly.
But how does quantum computing and all this PQC stuff actually change things?
Think about it. Every time you shop online,
Mm-hmm.
check your bank account, or
Yeah.
send a message,
Yeah.
you're relying on encryption to keep your data safe.
Right?
It's like an invisible shield protecting your information from prying eyes.
Right, but we've already got encryption.
We do.
What's the problem?
The problem is that our current encryption methods, like RSA, were designed with regular computers in mind.
Okay.
Quantum computers could potentially blow those wide open.
Oh.
Imagine all those online transactions, medical records, and even government communications suddenly vulnerable.
Okay, now I'm getting nervous.
Yeah.
So how would PQC protect the internet?
Think of it as upgrading the internet's security system to a quantum-resistant fortress.
Okay.
We're talking about implementing these new PQC algorithms everywhere, from website encryption to the protocols that govern how data travels across the network.
So it's like giving the internet a superpowered security upgrade.
Exactly.
But this isn't just about online shopping, right?
No, it's much bigger than that.
What about other industries? The article mentions finance as a big one.
Absolutely. Finance is built on trust and security.
Right.
Imagine the chaos if someone could suddenly drain bank accounts or manipulate stock prices with a quantum computer.
Yeah, talk about a market crash.
Yeah, it would be a disaster.
But how would PQC protect the financial system?
Think about all the sensitive information banks deal with account numbers, transaction details. Personal data PQC could provide a shield for all of that, making sure it stays safe even from quantum attacks.
So like even more secure than it is now?
Way more secure.
Okay, I'm starting to see a pattern here. Stronger encryption equals greater trust.
I like that.
What about healthcare?
Healthcare is huge.
Yeah. I know they handle a ton of sensitive information too.
Oh, absolutely. Healthcare is especially vulnerable. Imagine someone gaining access to millions of medical records.
Yeah.
It would be a privacy nightmare.
Yeah, talk about a data breach on a massive scale.
For sure.
So PQC would be protecting things like medical records and patient data.
Exactly. It could also help secure communications between doctors and hospitals, and even safeguard those increasingly sophisticated medical devices from being hacked.
Oh, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And what about governments? I know they're obsessed with security and secrecy.
Oh, yeah. Governments rely on encryption for everything, protecting classified information, securing communications between agencies, and safeguarding national infrastructure. If a hostile nation got their hands on a powerful quantum computer, it could be disastrous.
So PQC would be like their secret weapon.
You could say that, think of it as a digital arms race. Nations are already investing heavily in quantum computing. PQC is how we make sure the good guys stay one step ahead.
Okay, so we've got the internet, finance, healthcare, and governments, all relying on PQC to keep them safe in a quantum world.
Pretty much, yeah.
And let's not forget about everyday folks like you and me.
Right.
Everything from our social media accounts to our smart home devices could be vulnerable.
It's true.
So this really does impact everyone.
It really does.
It's not just some abstract problem for tech experts to worry about.
No, it's about protecting our privacy, our finances, our health, even our national security. The stakes are incredibly high.
All right, so we're all convinced that PQC is important, but What can we actually do about it?
Yeah, that's the question.
Do we need to become cryptography experts overnight?
Well, you don't need a PhD in mathematics to prepare for the post-quantum world,
Okay.
but there are things we can all do.
Like what? Give us the inside scoop. What are the practical steps?
First off, stay informed.
Okay.
The field of PQC is constantly evolving.
Got it.
Keep up with the latest news and research, especially what NIST is doing with their standardization efforts. They're like the guiding light in all this.
Makes sense. Knowledge is power, right?
Absolutely.
What else?
Start thinking about your own digital security. Make sure you're using strong passwords, enabling two-factor authentication, and keeping your software up to date. It's like building a strong foundation for your digital life.
Those are all good everyday practices, even without the looming threat of quantum computers. Anything else?
Don't be afraid to ask questions, talk to your tech-savvy friends, follow cybersecurity experts online, and engage in conversations about PQC. The more awareness we raise, the better prepared we'll all be.
It's like that old saying, it takes a village to build a quantum-resistant world.
Exactly.
And it sounds like we've got a lot of work to do, but before we get too overwhelmed, let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. What does all this mean for the future?
That's a great question. The future of PQC hinges on a few key things.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into post-quantum cryptography. We've covered a lot of ground,
Yeah, we have.
from the mind-bending power of quantum computers to the race to develop PQC solutions.
It's been a wild ride.
It has, but before we wrap up, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture.
Okay.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, PQC is more than just a tech upgrade.
Hey.
It's about something much bigger.
Yeah.
Trust.
Trust, exactly.
Okay, explain that one. How does encryption equal trust?
Well, think about it. Every time you enter your credit card info online, send a confidential email, or even use a messaging app, you're trusting that your data is safe from prying eyes.
Right, because it's encrypted.
Exactly.
But I still don't quite see the connection to trust.
Well, that trust is built on the belief that the encryption protecting our data is unbreakable.
Well,
It's like a promise that our secrets are safe.
right.
But what happens when that promise is broken?
I guess that's what we're facing with quantum computers.
Yeah.
They could shatter that trust by making our current encryption obsolete.
Exactly. And that's why PQC is so crucial. It's not just about protecting data.
Right.
It's about restoring that fundamental trust in a world where quantum computers could change the game entirely.
So it's like we're laying the groundwork for a new digital world,
Yeah,
one where trust can survive even the most powerful quantum attacks.
precisely. And it's not just about protecting individuals. It's about safeguarding businesses, governments, and even the very fabric of the internet.
So where do we go from here?
Right.
Is the future all doom and gloom, or is there hope for a quantum-safe world?
I'm optimistic the future of PQC is bright, but it requires a collective effort.
Okay.
Research and development are crucial, and thankfully, brilliant minds are working on this problem every day.
And NIST is playing a vital role in setting those standards for the best algorithms, right?
Absolutely. Their work is like building the foundation for a secure quantum future.
Right.
But it's not just about the algorithms themselves. It's about making sure they're widely adopted and integrated into all our systems.
So we need everyone on board, tech companies, governments, even everyday users like us.
Exactly. We need to raise awareness, educate ourselves, and make informed decisions about our own digital security.
All right, so let's recap. What are the key takeaways our listeners should remember from this deep dive?
Okay, well, first, the quantum threat is real quantum computers are becoming more powerful, and they have the potential to break the encryption we rely on today.
Okay, number 2.
Second, PQC is the answer. It's a new generation of encryption designed to resist quantum attacks. And thankfully, a lot of smart people are working hard to make it a reality.
Okay, and number 3?
Third, the transition to a post-quantum world is already happening. NIST is leading the charge with standardization, and tech giants are starting to integrate PQC into their systems.
And finally?
And finally, this isn't just a problem for tech experts. It affects everyone. We all need to be aware of the quantum threat and take steps to protect ourselves.
Okay.
It's a journey that requires collaboration, innovation, and a shared commitment to building a secure and trustworthy digital world.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought. This whole PQC thing might seem complex and a bit overwhelming.
Yeah, it can be a lot to take in.
Let's-
But remember, you don't need to be a cryptography expert to be part of the solution. Stay curious, stay informed, and make conscious choices about your digital security.
The future of cybersecurity is in our hands. Let's build a quantum-safe world together. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the fascinating world of post-quantum cryptography.